Good afternoon, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the Detroit Lions and their draft strategy for this year. Specifically, why they won't be drafting Jalen Carter or Anthony Richardson at number 6 overall, and instead will trade back and take the best player available. Trust me, I've been doing my homework on these guys. This is little known truth about me. I am a massive football fanatic. I would have played in college, but Harvard told me I was more of an SEC talent and that I should transfer to Alabama immediately. Derrick Henry was apparently willing to transfer out when it was rumored that I was going to be transferring there. So naturally, I have a ton of respect for King Henry, a.k.a. Derek Yeti. However, as you all know, I opted to stay at Harvard and get my law degree. Now, let me start by saying that both of these players are exceptional athletes, and they have bright futures ahead of them in the NFL. Who doesn't want all the upside of a Jamarcus Russell or Nick Fairley? Ah, yes, the top-flight players known far and wide for their amazing long and storied careers. However, the Lions have a lot of holes to fill on their roster, and they can't afford to take a gamble on one player, no matter how talented they may be. So why won't the Lions draft Jalen Carter or Anthony Richardson at number 6? Well, for starters, neither player fills a pressing need on the Lions roster. Carter is a defensive tackle, and while the Lions could certainly use help on the defensive line, it's not their biggest need. Meanwhile, Richardson is a quarterback, and the Lions have already made a significant investment in Jared Goff at that position. And as we all know on this channel, round these here parts, we are Jared Goff truthers. No cap. Goff slaps. It's a known fact that Jared Goff is a tier QB, and as we all know, the facts don't care about your feelings. But even more than that, the Lions need to focus on building their roster for the long term. This means acquiring as many picks as possible so they can draft players who will make an impact over the next few years. By trading back, the Lions can accumulate more picks and get the best value for their draft position. Someone like a Christian Gonzalez or Joey Porter Jr. with Emmanuel Mosley being on a one-year prove-it deal, and Jeff Okudah turning more and more into a bust, the Lions could ensure depth and stability at the cornerback position to go alongside Cameron Sutton. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Ben, what if there's a generational talent available at number 6? Shouldn't the Lions take them regardless of need? And to that, I would say it depends on the situation. Don't be an idiot and don't try to get sneaky with it. If there's a player available who is head and shoulders above everyone else on the board, and they also happen to fill a need on the Lions roster, then by all means, they should take that player. But in this year's draft, there is no clear-cut number 1 talent at any position, and the Lions have too many holes to fill to take a player who doesn't fit their needs. Brad Holmes loves him. Some draft capital for the future here, guys. Trade out with someone willing to take a shot on Carter or Richardson. So to sum up, the Lions won't be drafting Jalen Carter or Anthony Richardson at number 6 overall. Instead, they will trade back and take the best player available. This strategy will allow them to fill multiple needs on their roster and set themselves up for long-term success. Trust me, just like I trust the people over at ExpressVPN. Going online with public Wi-Fi is like leaving your wallet open around strangers with all of your info out for them to see. You wouldn't want that, and by visiting expressvpn.com/Ben, you'll get 20% off. Sorry, wrong show. I got distracted. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing how the Lions approach the draft this year.
Time to 23 Skidoo. Or should I say 69 Skidoo?
She said that my pornos were boring.